So what happens if you're over leveraged on a property? Has this ever happened to you before? Well, it did to me. What if you evaluated the property correctly? I mean, you bought it right at the right price, but during your renovation, the market changed. Interest rates went up, insurances increased, affecting the affordability of the end buyer. Or what if you just brought it wrong? Maybe you underestimated the cost of repairs and the timeline to complete those repairs. Perhaps you overpaid for the property, or maybe you structured the debt wrong. This happens a lot, guys. Or you simply bit off more than you can chew. That happened to me before as well. What do you do? What do you do if you're over leveraged on a property? Hey y'all, if you like our videos and you are receiving value, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It helps our YouTube channel to get the content in front of more people. I'm going to share with you today the top 3 strategies you can do today that can help you recover from this type of situation of being over leveraged. Stick around to the end as I reveal the #1 way to save the deal and keep the property. If you're over leveraged on a property, meaning you owe more on the property than its current market value, or you have borrowed more than you can financially handle, there are several strategies you can consider to address the situation today. #3, restructure the existing loan. Work with your lender to renegotiate the terms of your loan. This can involve extending the loan period, reducing the interest rate, or converting your loan into a different type of loan to lower your monthly payments. The key here is to be open with your lender. Get out in front of it early. Let them know you may be late on payments and are having trouble. Trust me, in a volatile market such as the one we're currently in, you are not the only borrower on their books that is having trouble. The lender is well aware of the market conditions, and the last thing they want is for you to fail. At least that's our stance at Vertical Capital. Most lenders are more than willing to work with you if you are communicating. It shows you're accepting accountability and you're willing to work things through. The worst thing, man, the absolute worst thing you can do is ignore the lender's communication. You ruin the relationship, and the likelihood of them doing business with you in the future is pretty much 0. Plus, you force our hand, yes, our, remember, I'm a lender as well, to take aggressive action. Remember, lenders make money on your ability to pay the mortgage. I don't want your property. No lender wants your property. If I take the property over, then that makes me a landlord or a flipper, when all I want to do is be a lender. Shucks. I've been in this situation as a borrower at least 2 times last year. I'm currently late on a payoff for one of my flips, but I knew this was going to happen 90 days ago. So I notified the lender and they were okay with it. Now the property is under contract and the loan will be satisfied by this March. Everyone gets what they wanted. #2, sell the property. If the property is a source of financial stress and you can afford to sell it, even at a loss, this may be a way to reduce your debt burden. This option depends on market conditions and the amount of loss you are willing to accept. Listen, y'all. Knowing when to cut your losses is sometimes a gain. In fact, it really is a gain. The longer you sit and do nothing, the deeper the financial burden gets. This is about removing your pride and making a sound business decision that will allow you to see other opportunities. Let's be honest, there is no business on the face of this earth that does not take a loss. In retail, they actually factor loss into their yearly financial projections. It's called shrink. This is when the retailer loses inventory either by theft, or maybe it's lost in transit, or it's damaged. You gotta ask yourself, is it cheaper for me to keep the property or to sell it? The money that you're losing on it, could this be better allocated on another opportunity in the future? This past October, my business partner and I sold our equity position in 2 warehouses or 2 warehouse developments that we were doing last year. This project was draining our pocket, y'all. I mean, we were hemorrhaging. Every time you look around, my architect was asking for a payment. The taxes was due. Insurance was due. I mean, this was an endless cycle of planning and permitting for 3 years. And we still were gonna endure another year of construction for at least a total of 4 years. That's 4 years of expenses with no returns. It was affecting our lives personally and hindering our growth of VC. To give you some idea about it, we were like $175,000 all in on these 2 warehouse developments, right? We lost 45,000. So essentially, we lost 45,000 to save 130,000. So to me, it was worth us selling short. This leads me into the #1 strategy that works in any market. Sell some equity. This is the ultimate deleverage strategy that you can implement to keep the property and put cash in your pocket. So let's see how it works. Find a passive investor who has some cash. Let's say you are carrying a debt of about $100,000 on a property. You may offer that cash investor 40% equity for maybe $40,000. So they now own 40% of the property and you own 60% of the property. But here is where things get, now that they are responsible for 40% of the property, they're also responsible for 40% of the expenses and the operational cost of the property. In other words, they partake in the upside and the downside of the property. Now take their cash and get current with your lender or whatever you need to do to move the property to the finish line. Of course, all this is done legally, documented as well. What I share, guys, is not based off things that I've heard. What I share with you is based off experience. If you have some experience or some questions, drop them in the comments, and I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, thanks for watching.